Hello, everyone, wherever you may be in your journey of life. I am glad that I get to be here with you, and I am immensely grateful that you are here on this earth. I am glad that you are here. In today's episode, we're actually going to talk about how to spot a snake oil sales pitch in 3 questions or through 3 questions. And the focus of this examination of classic snake oil sales pitches, which all sound amazing, but really they will actually destroy you if you try and live by them. The focus of this edition is Mel Robbins' new book, The Let Them Theory. Mel Robbins is a New York Times best-selling author. I'm sure she has the absolute best of intentions, but she is out there purporting a snake oil sales pitch that you want no part of. So we're going to use her book as sort of a case study in how you can spot bad teaching, false prophets. And we're going to do it in 3 questions. And you can do it in 3 questions. And you can apply these 3 questions to any teaching or any guru or any whatever you want to call it that's out there. The first question you have to ask is, what is the fruit in the lives of people who subscribe to it? So there's a reason why Mel Robbins' new book is garnering a crazy amount of attention. The Let Them Theory is attractive, and it sounds like great wisdom. If you listen to people who love the book and are applying the theory to their lives, I mean, it's really easy to see why it's attractive. She essentially says, focuses on what you can control and what you can control only. Focus on your own thoughts, your own words, your own actions, and let them be them. Let them think and do and act however it is that they're going to think and do and act. And you let them do their thing and let you do your thing, right? Focusing on what you can control in general is pretty good advice. Too many times, too much stress and all kinds of anxiety emerges when we try to change other people, when we can't change other people. So there's an aspect of this. All snake oil pitches have a nugget of truth in them, and this is the nugget of truth in them. But when you dive more deeply into the impact of the Let Them Theory, something really terrible becomes apparent. The strongest advocates of the theory say they use it at least 10 times a day. This is a major red flag because it means that 10 times a day, the level of anxiety within a person rises to the point of bursting. That happens 10 times a day. And this life hack, this surface level tactic, it gives nothing more than momentary relief to an obsessive part within a person. And so the anxiety comes up, Let Them Theory brings it back down, and then they enter into another encounter and it goes back up, and then they do the Let Them Theory and it comes back down. So you essentially ride this roller coaster, right? You ride this roller coaster. What you never do is you never touch the core. You never get curious about why you're trying to control this person, or why you're trying to influence this situation, or why this is producing anxiety within you. You never get to the actual reason why something is really bothering you and why it's creating so much anxiety within you. And because you never get to the bottom of it, you can never actually heal. You can never actually truly grow. You just end up using the Let Them Theory as your crutch, right? It's like nicotine, right? It's a stimulant. It solves a particular problem, but it creates a whole new one once you start applying it. It feels good at first, and then over time, it actually makes the problem worse and ends up causing more harm than good. So the Let Them Theory is well-intentioned, and it does cause relief in the moment, but it puts you on this hamster wheel where forever you're just going to be going. And you'll never actually get to the core. You'll never break the pattern. You'll never actually heal. So that's the first question. What's the fruit in the lives of people who subscribe to it? And the fruit in the long run is an increase of obsessive anxiety in people who use it. Number 2, the second question is, Can you preach this message anywhere to anyone at any time? There are certain circumstances, certain people, and certain moments where I will give very similar advice to the let them theory, right? It's like, stop trying to change your child. You can't change your child. Your child is your child, especially when talking about adult children, actually specifically talking about adult children. And same with children who are trying to change their parents. You can't change your parents. Change is God's business, not ours, right? So there's good advice. There's certain situations where let them theory is actually good advice, and it doesn't feed this cycle of obsession and anxiety and calming down. But there's actually tons of situations where the let them theory is horrible advice. I mean, absolutely horrible, right? If someone isn't treating you properly, there are plenty of reasons for you to say something, do something, and to fight back against injustice. At some point or another, you have to be able to look at someone who's causing an injustice, and you can't just be like, let them be them. No, you can't do that. If you're walking down the path of life and you see somebody headed off a cliff, a proverbial cliff, and you know them and you love them, and you're like, just let them fall off the cliff, it's fine. What are we talking about? No. You need to go challenge that person. You need to go do what you can to love them and help them from falling off a cliff. For example, if you're a parent and your spouse is actually emotionally manipulating or hurting your child, like, you damn well better not say, let them be them. My spouse is always going to manipulate. My spouse is always going to emotionally torment my children. Right? The advice at first sounds like a version of turn the other cheek, but in many, many situations, it's a far cry from it. The let them theory prevents you from actually discerning the situation and the dynamics and the relationships and the people. You can't just say, let them, because there are certain situations in which you damn well better not let them. Question number 3. Does this teaching, does this prophet, does this guru, does their core teaching take into account the whole human person? So the let them theory doesn't work in part because it doesn't take the soul into consideration. It approaches life from an exclusively mental, emotional perspective. If you want to let go of control of a relationship, if you want to stop trying to change a person, if you want sustainable peace, the roadmap to that is the Our Father, not the let them theory. Because within that short ancient prayer is the wisdom of surrender. Because you don't just let go of control and just stop trying to change people and leaving them to their own devices. No, you actually entrust the future. You entrust the transformation of another person to the only one who can change things, the only one who is truly in control of outcomes, God the Father. He is the one who decides what to do and what not to do, not you and me. Because you can be sure sometimes when you go to God, he's going to say, let it be. Like, I got them. You need to let them be. You cannot change them. Let them be. But sometimes he's also going to emphatically command, stand straight, take heart, fight for what is good, fight for what is true, challenge out of love. Don't just let them be, but challenge, take a stand. Don't be passive, be bold. Now, again, I don't know Mel Robbins, and for all I know, her intentions are entirely pure. So I don't mean this to be anything negative toward her as a person. But the let them theory doesn't pass the snake oil test. It fails in all 3 categories, and it promises what it cannot actually fulfill. So the 3 questions on how to spot a snake oil sales pitch is, what is the fruit in the lives of people who subscribe to it? That's number 1. 2, can you preach it anywhere to anyone at any time? And number 3, does it consider the entire human person? That's what I got for you today. May God bless you all. And remember, you were born to do hard things.